Hello and welcome back to What the Hell Did I Just Watch? Lucky Chloe here again, and today we're going to talk about Netflix's A Fatal Affair. Now, I have seen some bad movies, but this one was so bad it really takes the cake. I mean, I personally love this movie. It was so bad, it was funny. You know when you see a bad film and it can fall between two different categories? Either so bad it's painful to watch, or so bad it's good. This one was the latter. I watch bad movies all the time for pure entertainment, and so this one was my preferred type of bad movie, but that still doesn't mean it was good. Fatal Affair was not a well-made movie. Acting was choppy, script was generic and at times out of place, there was a lot of movie mistakes, overdramatic music and questionable casting. Characters I felt who should have had more of a role were pushed to the background, and other characters' motivations in the movie didn't really align with their actions.
Can't you see we were meant to be together?
Oh, David. Please.
Let me make it up to you. Let's start over. I'm not gonna hurt you.
David, even an idiot wouldn't convince a woman to love him like this. Just a warning, there will be spoilers from here on out, and so if you have not seen the movie, I recommend getting to Netflix and doing that now. With no further ado, let's dissect the plot. Ellie is a successful lawyer who is about to start her own firm and moved into a new house by the sea. She is married but distant to her husband and looks forward to their daughter returning to stay with them before she goes back to college. At a board meeting, she meets David, an old college friend of hers from 20 years ago. She heads out clubbing for drinks with David, and Courtney is supposed to come with her, but the plot says she can't come because the film needs an excuse for these two to get hot and heavy. So they talk over drinks, dance at a weirdly spacious club, and Ellie goes to the bathroom. Seriously, look how people are dancing here. Like, what kind of club is this? David follows her in, and the two almost do it. Ellie comes back to her senses, remembers she has a hot slice of beefcake at home, and leaves a bewildered David chasing after her. Over the next couple of days, David continues to reach out to Ellie, and when he won't go away, she blocks him. He takes the next step of showing up in person, and Ellie constantly denies him. He then resorts to starting a relationship with her close friend as a way of getting close to her. Ellie learns more about him and warns her friend, who initially doesn't believe her, but later on comes around and David attacks her. We're later told that David has killed himself, but the film still has 20 minutes left, and so there's obviously... Since, there's no body and everything, we know what that means. David kills Ellie's assistant and lures her back home. Ellie gets back and finds that her family are missing, and he reassures her they can now be together. Ellie knocks him out, frees her family, and start a chase, and after a struggle, David falls off the edge of a cliff. Cut to 2 months later, and everything's hunky-dory. Daughter's going back to college. Ellie and Marcus are more in love than ever, and it's like the whole shebang never happened. I am speechless. I have so many questions. Alright, first of all, Ellie, you gonna cheat on this? With this? Also, these two look nothing alike. And please, can everyone stop calling this man extremely handsome and dangerous? I mean, he's average at best, let's be honest now. He also does a load of things that shouldn't be possible and are never explained. Such as how he, an unarmed man, took out a 6'3" dude and his daughter, how he, also unarmed, took out armed police officers by himself, and how he also proved a challenge for both Ellie and her husband. I swear this guy is invincible. He's in the wrong show. Omar Epps does not play a convincing villain, sorry. He just sounds like a misguided nice guy.
How about we grab a coffee and talk? My treat.
I, for one, would have liked to hear more about their previous relationship. Some backstory, a clip of them at college, even a reference of past times. If they recognized each other immediately, why do they have no past memories to talk about? His sudden obsession with her seemed to come out of nowhere. I get what they were trying to do with him killing his wife at the start, but some backstory would have been nice. David's character is also extremely flawed in terms of writing. The scene with him in therapy was highly unnecessary. What was this supposed to show the audience? That he was crazy? We kind of already gathered that. Unless they were going to keep the therapy scenes consistent in the movie, they really needed to be scrapped. And there's more useless scenes like this one. In a random scene like this, adding just a flashback or something would have made it better. Also, did the family suffer no trauma at all after this happened? He spied on them, got close to her friends, stalked and harassed her, attacked her family, killed her daughter's boyfriend, and they don't have to go through any form of therapy after that. I mean, a guy like this appeared and disrupted their family. That must have been traumatic or affected them mentally in some way, right? Nope, he's dead now. Problem solved, guys. So, are we also really not going to talk about how the boyfriend was killed for no reason? The whole reason David did all this was to get Ellie to be with him. So, he kills the boyfriend and not the husband? Are we also not going to talk about how quickly Ellie sawed through the bonds? I'm 100%, no, 1,000% sure it should take longer than that. If they were this easy to break, how did her husband not break out of them by himself? Maybe he wanted out of the marriage. Also, speaking of the husband, why is he not a character? He's more like a piece of furniture. He doesn't leave the house for reasons other than to play golf, and pretty much only speaks generic lines like, "Do you need anything?" or "I guess you're stuck with me." He also forgave the whole cheating thing, like, almost instantly. I referred to him as a walking vibrator for Ellie, but my friend called him like more of a lampshade. You know, there when you need him, or a chair for when you need a ride. Also, look, not in a racist way or anything, but that is not their daughter, sorry. Her really bad acting also gave me a headache, but I'll go easy on her because she's young, and it's not so much her fault, it's more the director's fault. It was also way too dramatic at times.
Please, somebody! Can anyone hear me? I think I need some air.
Everything's gonna be just fine.
Also, this one, I don't know how this hasn't become a meme yet, because I can already think of captions. Alright, now, rant over, let's focus on the good. The film wasn't all bad. This, for example, had me laugh out loud.
Come on, dance with me. Come on.
Nah, no cap, this was the best part of the movie. Alright, it wasn't complete garbage. I actually enjoyed watching and ended up watching it again. The problem was, it wasn't intended to be a bad movie, though it was. If you can look past the acting, the casting, and the sloppy dialogue, you really got a gem here. A gem of entertainment, which is the main thing a movie's really meant to be. I know no one wants this film on their resume, but at least Nia Long didn't disappoint. She's always been a great actor, and I think the only thing that made this film watchable was her acting, which was brilliant. Her expressions, demeanour, and overall delivery was consistent as always, and I admired her for it. Just listen to this.
I know what you think this is, but I want you to go outside right now and come up with an excuse as to why you need to leave early. And I don't ever want to see you around me, my daughter, my husband, or my home ever again.
Chilling. I almost left my seat. Everyone else, on the other hand, was either mediocre or choppy. I really hated Courtney at one point, so I guess that makes her a great actress too. Watch it if you want. I personally thought this film was good, but then you're entitled to your own opinion. I'd definitely give it a shot if you're curious. So go ahead and watch. It is pretty funny. Rating for me, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.